Welcome back to JNS Daily Drives, everyone. My name is Jacob, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2014 Scion FRS. In today's video, we're going to go over the exterior as well as the interior, see what's powering this thing, and see what it's like to drive. Let's get started. Now we move to the rear of the Scion FRS, where we can talk a little bit more about the design back here. We have the beautiful dual exhaust back here. This car actually has an NVIDIA exhaust. You'll hear it in just a second. It sounds pretty awesome. There's some pretty aggressive taillights down below here and a very aggressive diffuser for a car that only costs around $25,000. Now let's go ahead and take a look at trunk space, shall we? And it is very, very tiny. This trunk is so small. I can barely fit my camera stuff in here. The rear seats do fold down, giving you a little bit of extra cargo space, but still, this car is not designed for cargo space, and you can tell. This car has a very, very, very small trunk. I can barely fit my drone case and a backpack back here. So located right here is the cargo space when it's just back here, and then right here is the cargo space, the seats folded down. Now that we've kind of looked over the exterior of the Scion FRS, let's go ahead and take a look at that engine. Now that's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's naturally aspirated and it produces 200 horsepower and 150 pound-feet of torque. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now that we've heard how the engine sounds, let's go to the back and get a gnarly NVIDIA exhaust clip. Now that we've taken a look at the exterior, gotten that engine sound and that mean exhaust clip, nothing left to do but go for a drive. Before we go on with the rest of this review, I have to say a massive thank you to Norm and the rest of the guys over at International MOTORCARS. If you haven't been watching some of my videos recently, better go do it. Also, they've been providing a lot of cars for us recently, which has been absolutely awesome. So make sure you go check them out. Linked in the description below is their website, along with the link to this exact car, which is for sale right now. So now that we're inside and we're driving the Scion FRS of the 2014 model year, we can begin to talk a little bit more about that engine and the transmission that it's mated to. I'd like to apologize in advance if the droning noise is really loud, because, I mean, that exhaust is just ridiculous. It's so loud. I don't really like it that much just because of how loud it is. There's so much drone at, 90 kilometers an hour that it's kind of hard to talk to people who's in the car with you. Anyway, it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that's naturally aspirated. It produces 200 horsepower and 150 pound-feet of torque. Now that's all mated to either a 6-speed manual or this, a 6-speed automatic. And I would take the manual over the automatic any day of the week. The automatic just feels kind of slow. It's not like downshifts are slow, but you don't really expect it that much from a car like this. It's designed to be a sports car. It should shift quickly, but at the same time, it's not the top end. So you're not going to expect lightning fast shifts like you would in a lot of other cars. I'd like to talk a little bit about the comfort of the Scion FRS. The seats hold you in incredibly well. Very well bolstered all the way up to the shoulders and down to the legs. You feel all the bumps, and it's not the most pleasant ride in the world, but it's not terrible. It's just enough so that you could daily drive this car and also have fun in the corners. Speaking of corner, we're going to come up on a corner now, and I'm going to tell you what it's like. So I'm in sport mode. Car is perfect. It goes exactly where you point it to go. That's the benefit of having rear-wheel drive, is the dynamic and handling of this car far exceeds any 4-wheel drive or front-wheel drive cars. That makes this car a lot of fun, even though it only has 200 horsepower. This car isn't quite as fun as the Fiat 500 Abarth or the Volkswagen Golf R that I've reviewed, but it's still pretty fun nonetheless. It is a little bit slow, and you notice that, you really have to get it really high in the RPM to really feel any sort of power, which is kind of a downside about this engine. It's really high revving, and you don't don't necessarily want to rev it super high all the time. So it can get a little bit annoying at times, but it's not the end of the world. The grip in this thing too is very impressive. Like I said, it is rear-wheel drive, and it's not wearing the most amazing tires in the world, but it still handles incredibly well. You don't feel like you're going to lose it really until you push the car extremely hard, which is one thing that I really like about this car. Because it's so cheap, it appeals to so many people that are younger, because it's also relatively safe. It's not going to try and kill you because it doesn't have 450 horsepower that's going to rocket the rear end out. This one is nice and sturdy, handles really well, makes it fun to drive. For a car that's designed to be like this, for a car that's designed to have not the most power, but still be fun to drive, I think they've nailed it. They've done a really good job of making this a driver's car. And yes, I wish I had the manual, and I wish it was faster, but for a lot of people, this speed is just enough to have enough fun, because on the roads, you can't really use 450 horsepower. It's just not realistic. In terms of what you get in this car in terms of features, it's pretty limited. We have a Pioneer and Scion kind of collaboration little head unit here that kind of looks like it's from an aftermarket unit from 2008. It really doesn't look that good. All the knobs, single zone climate control, no safety features. I have adjustable mirrors, but that's about all that I have. Everything else is just kind of there. It's like the basic necessities. I do have cruise control. But other than that, it's kind of basic. There's nothing really that you get in here. And in terms of the quality of the interior, it's definitely not that great. Everything is, hard plastic or fake leather. It doesn't really look that good. It doesn't feel that good. But, like I said, that's not what this car is designed for. It's designed to be cheap, affordable fun, and that's kind of what it is. It does that really well. In terms of space in here, it's actually pretty good. Like I said, the seats hold you in nice and tight. My shoulder room is really good. My headroom, I still probably have 2.5 inches of headroom, which makes it pretty good. Legroom, I do have a lot of legroom too. I can move my seat even further back, which is a nice feature to have. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on this 2014 Scion FRS. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well.